Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to do the topic The 100 Dresses. This is your chapter 5 from your book First Flight. The 100 Dresses. Before reading the chapter, let's talk about the author. Elsa Easter. She was born on May 9, 1906. Was an American children's author and a children's librarian. Her book Ginger Pie, which she also created illustrations for, won the Newbery Medal. 3 of her books were Newbery Honor winners and one was awarded the Lewis Carroll Shelf Award. So I am telling you more about. Actually, she was born in West Haven, and this story is her personal experience which she tried to convert into fiction. So let's understand the story, The 100 Dresses. This story, The 100 Dresses, could be used in many ways. Okay, so what is the message this story gives? The message of acceptance and of not teasing someone for being different is a valuable lesson for students of all ages and could be used in upper as well as lower grades. So another idea that should be introduced in the classroom is that Maddie stood by and did not speak up when she knew that her friends were doing something wrong. So this message projected through this story. So let's understand the story, The 100 Dresses. So this is a story about a girl named Wanda, and let's understand. Before you read, how do we judge the people around us? By their money, wealth, and possessions? Or is there something else we should look for, like kindness, their way of talking, their manners? So this story is a sensitive account of how a poor young girl is judged by her classmates. Wanda Petronsky, she is the protagonist of the story. She is a young Polish girl who goes to school with other American children in an American town. These other children see Wanda as different in many ways. Can you guess how they treat her? So let's understand about the Polish American history a little. This is only for your understanding. This is not including in the lesson. Only this account you need to understand. The first Polish immigrants arrived in America in 1608, but the largest wave of Polish immigration occurred in the early 20th century, means in the year of 1900 to 2000, when more than 1 million Poles migrated to the United States. The Polish state did not exist at that time, and the immigrants were identified according to their country of origin rather than the caste and ethnicity. So they were identified as Russian Poles, German Poles, and Australian Poles. So the main center for taking the shelter was Chicago. So Chicago is something called as the second largest Polish city in the world, and the foremost is Warsaw, the capital of Poland. So this is the account where we can understand what is Polish American community. So this is not for your learning. This is not related to even the chapter. This is only for your understanding. So now let's move to the story. So the story starts with the line, "Today Monday, Wanda Petronsky was not in her seat." So it starts with the lines that Wanda was not present in the school on Monday. But nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed. But nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence. So the chapter starts that Wanda was not present in the school on Monday, and moreover the two popular girls, Peggy and Madeline, who started all the fun, like who first of all started teasing Wanda, they even took no notice that Wanda was absent. Usually Wanda sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in the room 13. Her classroom number was room 13, and usually her place of sitting was in the last corner of the last bench. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat, the corner of the room where there was most scuffling of feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. So it means she was sitting among those boys, those who were naughty, those who were not having good grades, and those who make disturbance in the class by making noises, by dragging their feet on floor. So that's why the writer is saying that she sat on those corners where usually it is obvious that those boys always sit, those who are not good in studies. Okay, and most of all, and most mud and dirt on the floor. So not even those boys were clean. Okay, they were having dirty shoes and all. Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy, but Wanda was not sitting there because she was disturbing the class. Okay, she was not rough and noisy, neither she was making any noise. On the contrary, actually it was opposite. She was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. She was very calm and never ever speak anything to anyone, and nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud, and nobody even seen her that she was laughing loudly. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile. Sometimes she was having a smile, so that smile is like a twisted smile. Okay, so she was having that twisted smile on her face, and as it says that she was not talking to anybody, her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. But this was it. She was not having any other character characteristics of her personality that you could talk about, because nobody took notice of her. Okay, they were not even noticing her good deeds or her calmness or anything. They were just analyzing her. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat, unless it was because she came all the way from Bogging Heights. As you must remember, what was the place of Wanda's residence? It was Bogging Heights. Actually, this was a poor dwelling, so it was not properly having the proper roads. Okay, it was covered with mud all the time in the rainy season. So she was coming from Bogging Heights, and her feet were usually caked with the dry mud, and that was the reason that she was always having the shoes covered with mud. But no one really thought much about Wanda Petronsky once she sat in the corner of the room. But nobody ever bothered about where she was sitting, what she was doing, because nobody liked her. The time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours at noon time, when they were coming back to school, or in the morning time early before school began, when groups of 2 or 3 or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the schoolyard. So it was the time when the kids were just putting a notice over Wanda. So it was only twice, like first the arrival from at the school, and second at the departure of. So they only took notice of Wanda at 2 times only, first as the arrival of the school and then departure of the school. So they only were waiting for her to come in group of 2 or 3, just to make fun of her, just to laugh on her. So this shows that she was really depressed by all such kind of attitude of other students towards her. So it says, then sometimes they waited for Wanda to have fun with her. Even the group of students waited for Wanda to make fun of her. The next day, Tuesday, Wanda was not in school. Now it was Tuesday. Again, Wanda was not in school. Nobody noticed her absence again. And nobody noticed her absence again. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda was not there. Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. So on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, on their way to school, waited and waited for Wanda. They took notice. They were the girls who started all this game of teasing her. So obviously they were not tracking all the mud to school. Okay, and they did notice. How they noticed? Now they are telling more about Peggy. Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. She was the most popular because she was rich. She was having all kind of luxuries like expensive bag, expensive stationery, and she was quite popular. She was pretty. She had many pretty clothes, and that's why, because in foreign countries they never wear uniforms, so they wear casual clothes to school. That's why she was having more prettier dresses for every day, and her hair was curly. She was having curly hairs. All in all, she was very beautiful. Maddie was her closest friend, and Maddie was her best friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda had made them late to school. So why Wanda had made them late to school? Because on their way to school, they waited and waited for Wanda to make fun of her. They wanted to have some fun with her. That's why Peggy was late to school, and she just had not come. But Wanda was not present on Wednesday as well. They often waited for Wanda Petronsky to have fun with her. This was not the first time they were waiting for Wanda. Earlier also, whenever they want to have fun, they waited for Wanda Petronsky. So we have seen with this page reading that both the girls were only making fun of Wanda. Wanda Petronsky, most of the children in the room 13 did not have name like that. So her name was Wanda Petronsky because most of the kids in the room 13, they were not having the similar name. They were having American's name, and she was having a different name. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith and Allen. There was one boy named Bounce, Billy Bounce, and people thought that it was funny, but it was not as same funny as the name Wanda. So from these lines we came to know that Wanda Petronsky was a Polish girl. It was a school of America where she was studying. So the other American children in the school thought Wanda's name was too long and difficult to say. So they would make fun of her name as well. Wanda did not have any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not hang right. It was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. She did not have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. Sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground. Wanda was a poor girl and came from Bogging Heights, where most poor people lived. So she was not having many friends, and moreover she was not having much money to buy casual clothes for every day. So she was always in same faded blue dress. Her dress looked shabby, but it was always clean. Even the dress was loose fitted. It was not fitted properly, but it was only because she was not able to iron it properly, to take care of it properly. Actually, she was not having many friends, but many girls talked to her. Why they were talking to her? Whenever she was busy watching the girls play a game in which children hop into and over squares marked on the ground, she was watching them, and they would come to her and started talking to her, or you can say started making fun of her. Wanda, Peggy would say in a most courteous manner as though she were talking to Miss Mason. So while addressing Wanda, Peggy would just make the courtesy like she was addressing to some senior one. And then she would start the fun like Wanda. She would say, giving one of her friend a nudge. Nudge means a gentle push. So she would just make a gentle push to her other friend while before talking to Wanda. Tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? So it was mostly Peggy who led the other girls in having fun with Wanda. She would ask Wanda in mocking courtesy, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet, in your almirah? 100, Wanda would say. And what was the reply of Wanda? She answered that I have 100 dresses. What? 100? Exclaimed all the little girls incredulously, and the little one would stop playing hopscotch and listen. Whenever she replied in such a way, so everybody was amazed. Okay, so they just started making fun of her by making, oh, really? You have 100 dresses? And even the little girl stopped playing and started listening to their conversation. Yeah, 100, all lined up, said Wanda. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. What are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. So, to make more fun of her, Peggy again would started that, oh, so you're having 100 dresses, so all are made of silk, I see. Yeah, all silk, all colors. To this, Wanda replied that yes, she was having all dresses made of silk and in all colors. Velvet too. To again make fun of her, they said, okay, you are having silk collection, so you must have the velvet collection as well. Yeah, velvet too, 100 dresses. Wanda would repeat stolidly, means never showing any kind of emotions. Okay, then they would let her go, and after teasing her in such a way, they would let her go. And then before she would go very far, they could not help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. So even she could not move 2 or 3 steps. So they just started in high, loud shouts, that is shrieks, and peals of laughter means series of laughing sounds. So in this way, they were making fun of Wanda. 100 dresses. Obviously, the only dress Wanda had was the blue one she wore every day. So why did she say she had 100? What a story. So what was the reason why Wanda was answering those girls that she was having 100 dresses? But actually she was wearing only the same dress every day. So why she replied them all in such a way? How many shoes did you say you had? And to make more fun of her, so Peggy again started asking her, so how many pairs of shoes you have? How many pair of shoes? So what was the reply of Wanda? 60 pairs, all lined up in my closet. So Wanda replied that she had 60 pairs of shoes, and they all were beautifully decorated and placed very nicely in her almirah. Cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this. All alike. So they all made fun of her by saying that, oh, so all must be same. Oh no, every pair is different, all colors, all lined up. But the reply of Wanda was that, no, I am not having all the same pair of. I have different pair of shoes, and they all are in my closet. Peggy, who had bought up this game, and Maddie, her inseparable friend, were always the last to leave. Finally, Wanda would move up the street, her eyes dull and her mouth closed, hitching her left shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had, finishing the walk to the school alone. So it was clear that Wanda's faded blue dress that she was poor, and then why she was saying all these answers, when why she was just answering them like this. So this was a game which started by the Peggy. Okay, and Maddie, because she was the best friend of Wanda, so she thought that Wanda was too dumb to know they were having fun with her. But Wanda never back answered them. She was just lifting her left shoulder and never saying anything else. And then now she moved from them. And then in the funny way, she had finishing the walk to school alone. And in this way, she usually went back to her home. Peggy was not really cruel. She protected small children from bullies, and she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. So now they are telling us about more about Peggy's character. So it says that Peggy was not cruel. She was not a girl who could we can say that mistreated anyone or was cruel in nature. Even she protected small children from bullies, and she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. She was having sensitive heart. She could never see any animal mistreated by anyone. If anybody had said to her, "Don't you think that it is cruel way to treat Wanda?" she would have been very surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? Anybody could tell that she was lie. Why did she want to lie? And she was not just an ordinary person else. Why did she have a name like that? Anyway, they never made her cry. So, what was Peggy's excuse for her behavior? She was having only one excuse, that Wanda was a liar, because she always was in a same pale blue dress. Why she answered them that she was having 100 dresses, and moreover she never made her cry once, so she can't be called herself as cruel or doing any wrong to her. Okay, it was only Wanda who was having a unique name and such a shabby personality, such a poor personality. That's why they were only just making fun of her. There was nothing something very serious from the part of Peggy. As for Maddie, Maddie is the short name of Madeline. This business of asking Wanda every day how many dresses and how many hats and how many this and that she had was bothering her. Maddie was a little disturbed with such questions from Wanda. Why? What was the reason behind? Because Maddie was poor herself. She was not having such sound economical condition herself. She usually wore somebody's hand-me-down clothes, means used clothes. Okay, she was also wearing somebody's used clothes. Thank goodness she did not live up on Bogging Heights or have a funny name. And she was very thankful to God that she was not even living in Bogging Heights, where usually the poor were living. And moreover, she was not having any funny name like Wanda. Sometimes, when Peggy was asking Wanda those questions in that mocking, polite voice, Maddie felt embarrassed and started and marbles in the palm. So Peggy was having sensitive heart. However, Maddie also did not like the game. She wanted to tell Peggy to stop this game, but she did not have the courage to speak up. Whenever they were making fun of Wanda, so she started playing with the marbles in her hand, rolling them around and saying nothing herself. Not that she felt sorry for Wanda. It was not because she was having any sympathy for Wanda or having any feelings for Wanda exactly. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy had not invented the dress game. Even she was not interested in Wanda. It was all because of the Peggy and had started playing this fun game. But suppose Peggy and all the other started in on her next. So she was only afraid that what if if Wanda would not be there, then they would start making fun of her because she was also from a poor family. She was not as poor as Wanda. Perhaps she was not that poor, but just in case. So she was afraid by the idea that maybe they would start making fun of her as well because she was poor. Of course, she would have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. And she thought that she was having more sense to judge that somebody was making fun of her, and she won't even reply that she was having 100 dresses. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her, and still, she did not like the idea that they would start making fun of her as well. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petronsky. She was only wishing that now Peggy should stop playing such a silly game. Today, even though they had been late to school, Mary was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. When today means Wednesday, as we were talking about, it was written in the story, they came late for school because they were waiting for Wanda. Maggie was glad because they couldn't meet Wanda and they had not to make fun of Wanda. She worked her arithmetic problems absent mindedly, and after that, she just started doing her work. 8 times 8, let's see. So she was counting 8 times 8. She was doing tables. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note. Now she was thinking about to write a note to Peggy which would say that she should stop playing this game because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy to say, because she was not having that courage to say Peggy because Peggy was very popular. Moreover, she was rich and she was not having that courage to just go on to her and just say on her face the things she wanted to say. Hey Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has. She was not having courage to just challenge Peg that she should stop this game about asking Wanda how many dresses she was having. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Although she started writing a note to Peggy, suddenly she paused and shuddered. But all of a sudden, she was stopped. And shuddered means shook because of the fear of any strong feeling. So she was having a strong feeling, a kind of fear. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. She just envisioned herself that now the next target would be her. She would be in school ground and everybody would ask her or tease her. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with. So she was just envisioned herself that she would be the next target, and Paddy would tease her by asking whose dress you are wearing, and she had to reply that it was Peggy's leftover dress she was wearing, and that dress was mended by her mother, Maddie's mother, just to make small changes so that nobody took a notice of it, like changing the buttons or adding some frills into it, new trimming, so no one in the room 13 would recognize it that it was the Peggy's old dress. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. Oh well. Mary ran her hand through her short blonde hair as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. So she was just pulling her hair. She was really having all that worries that she would be the next target. She was just hoping that Peggy herself would stop all this fun game. What difference did it make? So what would be the difference if she would stop playing such silly games? Slowly Mary tore into bits of notes she had started. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought. So she was thinking that Peggy was her best friend, so that's why she was the she won't make fun of her as she made fun of Wanda. Moreover, Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole classroom, so maybe she won't go to that extent and she won't start that silly game with her. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Bogging Heights and stood alone in the schoolyard. And for having thought about Wanda, she was saying that she was a senseless girl. She was not having common sense, and that was the reason why she was alone in the school. And moreover, she was living in a poor dwellings like Bogging Heights. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody, and moreover, she never spoke to anyone. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses. Whenever they were talking to her, it was only when they were making fun of her and asking her about the 100 dresses. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dresses. So she remembered the day when she was telling her about her dress, pale blue with colored trimmings. So she was just describing the dress, which was of pale blue color, sky blue color, and having trimmings. And she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red sash. And there was another dress which was having sash attached to it, which was of red color and it was of jungle green color. You would look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. So the girls were saying that, oh wow, you would look like a Christmas tree in that. They were admiring her dress. Thinking about Wanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. While she was thinking all about her dresses, and all of a sudden she began to think of the drawing and color contest that had been held a few days earlier. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses. For girls, what was the topic? It was a topic to design dresses. And for boys, of designing motorboats. And for boys, what was the theme of the contest? It was to design motorboats. So probably Peggy would win the girls medal. So the only girl who was capable enough to win this contest was, according to Maddie, was Peggy. She could win the medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room because her drawings were very fantastic. At least that's what everybody thought. Actually, everybody was having the same opinion. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head so that you could almost tell who it was. So she could draw any face by seeing it. So you could recognize her sketching was so brilliant that she could copy the face exactly as it is from the film magazines. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win. So Maddie was having the strong opinion that Peggy would win this contest. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners, and tomorrow was the result day when they would announce the winners for this contest. Then they would know. Then they would come to know who was actual winner. The next day it was drizzling. So it was raining lightly. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on the day like this, they did not wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street. So their school was located near Oliver Street. It was a rainy day, so they were not waiting for Wanda. Not even they have waited for her on any rainy day in Oliver Street. The street that far away under the railroad tracks and up the hill led to the Bogging Heights, because that was the street which was attached to the Bogging Heights somehow far away in the distance. It was the place where Wanda was taking a turn to come to school. Anyway, they were not taking chances on being late today because today was important. But in no way they were having any mood to wait for Wanda, because they were already getting late for school, and today was an important day because today they were going to announce the winner of that contest. Do you think Miss Mason will announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. So Peggy was asking from Mary, do you think that today the winner would be announced by their class teacher, Miss Mason? Oh, I hope so the minute we get in, said Mary. Yes, she was very optimistic regarding that. Of course you will win, Peg. And she just confirmed it that don't worry, you are going to win the contest. Hope so, said Peggy eagerly. She was also eager and said, okay, hope so that I would win this contest. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. When they entered in the classroom, they were amazed by the sight of the classroom. What was so amazing? Why they were just having that kind of surprised look? There were drawings all over the room, on every ledge and windowsill, dazzling colors and brilliant, lavish designs, all drawn on great sheets of wrapping paper. There must have been 100 of them all lined up. So they could see that the room was full of drawings. The drawings were everywhere, on windows pane, on shelves, on walls, everywhere. So they were having more beautiful and lavish designs, and dresses were brilliant. There must have been 100 of them all lined up, and they were all in a series, and they could count that it must be like 100 dresses. So exactly these are the 100 dresses Wanda was talking about. These must be the drawings for the contest. So these must be the drawings which were submitted by the students to the contest. They were, everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. So everybody was admiring those dresses, those drawings, and they were whistling and they were admiring it. As soon as the class had assembled, so as the kids have taken their seat, Miss Mason, their class teacher, announced the winners. Jack Bagel had won for the boys. So who was the winner among boys? Jack Bagels, who won the contest of designing motorbikes. She said, and his design for an outboard motor was an exhibition in room 12. So his design was exhibited in room number 12, the next section, along with the sketches by all the other boys. So boys sketches were in room number 12 and girls sketches were in room number 13. As for the girls, she said, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most one girl, and room 13 should be proud of her, this one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawings is worthy of winning the prize. I am very happy to say that Wanda Petronsky is the winner of the girls' medal. So she announced it very proudly that although for this drawing competition, the girls who have taken part, they have submitted only one or two sketches, but there was one girl who submitted 100 sketches, and all were so exquisite, so beautiful, that each and every dress was worth of winning an award. So she was very proud to announce that Wanda had submitted 100 designs of dresses, all different, all in beautiful colors, all having different designs, and that's why she was the winner of this contest. So as you can see, these are the dresses designs displayed here. Unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. So she was deserving such kind of applause by everyone, but she was not witnessing it because she was absent from school from some days. Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. So the teacher asked everyone to just have a look on the dresses she has drawn for the competition quietly. The children burst into applause. They started clapping, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, but their fingers in their mouths and whistles, though they were not interested in dresses. So, boys got a chance to make some, like whistling sound and tapping on food, so they got a chance to just having such fun. So they started whistling, they started clapping, so hooting and all that. Look, Peg, whispered Maddie, there is that blue one she told us about, isn't it beautiful? So she was pointing to one blue dress. That look, Peg, she was telling us about this blue dress one day. Look at it, how beautiful it is. Yeah, said Peggy. And here is that green one, boy. And I thought I could draw. And there was that green dress. She just told them that green dress with the red sash and blue one. Okay, so Peggy was just wishing that she could draw such nicely. All those dresses were very beautiful. So this was the secret behind the dresses of Wanda. So this lesson makes us think about when we are telling anybody about their position, about their caste, about their color, we should think twice, because that person could be very talented. That person could having all such kind of good things in them. So we should really not make fun of others. There should be no discrimination among school kids, because they are the future citizens. They must have that fellow feeling for everyone. So this is the story of the 100 dresses part 1. We will soon do the next chapter, that is chapter 6, the 100 dresses part 2. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.